Hi everyone. I came to a conclusion that I might cause a bit of controversy in this video, and that is the fact that I've done an extensive analysis of this particular Olina, and I have done a long-term analysis when I compared it against the IBasso IT00, and I've come to a very critical conclusion that this IBasso is currently the best dynamic driver you can buy for under 100, or in fact, I will even go as high as $150. There is something that's happening with recent IEMs that have been released by many companies. I would even say about a year ago down to this recent year. Now, what's happening is that every manufacturer now are tuning their IEMs to be neutral, bright, neutral, and detailed. And it's a good thing. It's really a good thing. But there is a bit of a limitation that's going on right now, because when you go and buy something, for instance, like the new 7HZ Crinacle Salnotes Dioko, when you listen to that earphone, you will love the detail you're getting. You will love the implementation of the clarity of that tuning. Where it starts lacking is when the low end comes into fruition and how it performs and handles bass. Most recent IEMs have kind of like distanced themselves from having quality, impactful bass, and it's a big problem right now. Not just for the Olina, but for almost like all the recent IEMs that are out now. So it's not technically just an Olina problem, because I've listened to more recent IEMs and I've seen this. Every IEM now is being tuned to be very neutral. It's not a bad thing. It's just that they're sacrificing bass, and it's a big problem. It's a big problem. The IBasso IT00 comes from a generation 2-3 years back when bass was really critical to the way you tune earphones. And they would then, at least with the driver in here, they didn't want to sacrifice detail, because when you listen to the IBasso IT00, when you watch a movie, the first thing that comes to your mind is that it rumbles, it has impact, it has grit, it has guts, it punches really hard, and it scares you. I use this earphone to watch Jurassic World Dominion, and I kid you not, I thought I was in a movie theater. That is how good this particular earphone is. The Olina don't give me that sensation. I love the Olina so much, but the truth has to be said. The tuning is not complete on the Olina, because if it's very clean and very clear, you cannot get the full spectrum of the bass. It is a limited sound. No matter how good it is, in terms of the way it performs, the way it sounds, if it does not have impactful bass, it doesn't have I would say it's a bit incomplete as far as I'm concerned. It's a bit incomplete as far as I'm concerned. It isn't look, I would say the tuning of this generation now, it's limiting. It's really limiting. A lot of companies want to tune their earphones to be neutral, which is a very good thing, but they are sacrificing a lot. If you listen to the IBasso IT00, you will immediately hear the impact of anything you're listening to. Now, some people will say, oh, maybe I'm a bass head. No, not necessarily I'm a bass head. I need bass to be in what I am listening to, because anything I'm listening to has low frequency, and low frequency is critical to whatever it is I'm listening to. It is just the way it is. You need to have strong low frequency to be able to deliver the full spectrum, the full frequency of the sound, regardless of how beautiful the IEM looks like, or whatever the IEM is like. If you listen to the latest MoonDrop Aria Snow, it is a bright earphone. No matter how people want to analyze that product, it is a bright earphone. It is it's detailed, it's very bright, and it doesn't have a lot of bass. The MoonDrop Aria Snow does not have bass. And no matter how clean or clear that earphone sounds like, it will never compensate for the fact that if you use it for gaming or for intense movie watching, you won't enjoy the full impact of whatever it is you're watching. No matter how good the clarity of the audio is, the fact that it's lacking low end, it's a problem. The tuning of this IBasso has been missing on so many recent earphones, and it's sad. What I mean by tuning is the fact that when a low frequency effect comes into your ears, you should be able to feel it as if it's actually happening around you. You should be able to feel the impact. But most recent IEMs don't have that again. And I don't understand that, because you want to entertain your customers, people that will pay the money to buy these IEMs. You want them to buy the IEMs and enjoy whatever it is they are listening to. I'm not saying you cannot enjoy music with the Olina, but the fact that you do not have a lot of bass performance is a problem, because when I listen to movies, it is clean. Now, one thing the Olina does better, slightly, and I'll use the word slightly better than the IBasso, is the 3D holographic sound stage and positioning. It is slightly better. It has that 3D effect. It's very, very good. But the problem with that is that you have a very immersive 3D sound effect, but you don't have the impact to go with it. What it tries to compensate with is the mid-range, the upper mid-range, because it's bright, it's slightly bright. It tends to like push that upper mid-range low and treble in your face, and it tends to make it a bit harsh. Now, if you use the double filter on the Olina, you will be fine. But the problem with the double filter that I've come to see as a negative is that it makes the earphone more power hungry. And when you put in more power, it's not like you're getting more performance out of it, but the thing is that you're making the earphone show more of its weaknesses. This earphone without the double filter is inconsistent in the lower treble and the mid-range. It is a bit harsh. I think the 4K region is a bit spiky. So the only way you can tame that is to use double filter, and it will tame that. But what it will do is that the expansive soundstage is kind of like dropped down, and it makes it very, very kind of like closed in for anybody that is trying to get the full experience, the full detail like they would want to. Look, manufacturers of earphones, you guys that tune earphone need to go back to this tuning. They need to go back to this tuning. The only negative that this IBasso has is that because it's very easy to drive, it can distort quickly at higher intensive volume. At a higher volume, it might be subject to distortion. And if you keep the volume at the regular level, which is by far okay, you will hear all the impact, and you wouldn't need to go over reference volume. What this has over that is the fact that I can put a lot of volume through this and it will not distort. The reason why this model won't distort at a very, very intense high volume is because it doesn't have enough bass. So there isn't anything to show the true capability of how low the driver can go in terms of low frequency, because the only thing that can actually cause drivers to distort most times is low frequency. And I think this is the reason why most manufacturers these days are trying their hardest to not include a lot of low frequency in their drivers these days. They don't want to tune their drivers to have a lot of low frequency because they are scared to get distortion. They just don't want their earphones to have distortion or to rumble so low or cause the driver to go bad because of extreme low rumbles that the driver will have to work with every single time of the day. So that may be the reason why they're all going for this neutral tuning, because this neutral tuning started barely 2 years ago. Every manufacturer now wants to make their earphone neutral or bright. And it's a good thing if done well, but there is a need to compensate the frequency. There has to be a compensation in the frequency when you tune your earphone. There has to be enough bass to be able to enjoy what it is you're listening to. Listen, the Olina is a fantastic earphone. The 7HZ Dioko is a fantastic earphone if you use it to listen to music. But if you're not listening to music alone and you need other things, to listen to other things like movies and gaming, you will find out that these earphones are very limited because they don't have the impact. They don't have the full body texture presentation that you need to actually feel engaged in your movie watching. So that's a bit of a downside and a bit of a problem, if I'm being honest. But if you get past all that, I think this is a wonderful set. It's a very good set. It should please anybody that is going to go out to get it. But just know that you're not going to get the full impact and detail that you might be looking to get. You might need the full body presentation that the IBasso give you, and I've come to that very, very long conclusion that the IBasso is better than almost any recent IEM that are coming out now in the $100 and $150, because all of them are following almost the same tuning pattern going forward, and they don't give you quality low-end performance, and that is a problem, if I'm being honest. So that's my analysis and that's my conclusion. If you like this content, please subscribe to the channel, follow us here on our YouTube channel and on our social media. I'll see you guys very, very much next time. Bye for now, and I'll see you guys next time.